Okay, ladies, you have seen the title. This one is for you. If you are a guy and you are watching this and you just want to know a little bit about some advice that I am giving to the ladies, then you can stay right on ahead and continue listening to this video. But this video is predominantly for women. So in my first two videos of this marriage series, the first thing I spoke about were just five questions that I wish I would have asked my husband that I did not ask. And these are questions that I think that you should ask prior to marriage. In my second video, I spoke about real red flags. And at the very end, I went a little in depth about what is a real red flag versus a mistake that someone might make. Today, though, today, we are getting into how, after we get married and after we've asked all those questions and we figured out the red flags and we're in this wonderful marriage relationship, how can we keep this marriage fresh? Well, today I have 5 things that I would like to share with you to keep it nice and spicy. Number 1, cook for your man or bring him his favorite meal. Now, because you were asking all of these questions, right, prior to marriage, if you are someone that does not cook, that's fine. He knew that before marriage. He loves you. So even if you are not the person actually cooking the meal, if you can go ahead and purchase his favorite meal and bring it to him, pair it with maybe a favorite dessert or a drink that he really likes, he will really appreciate that you were thinking of him. Now, I know that we are really quite busy as women. We have all of these responsibilities, and this is not like it's the 1950s where we're sitting at home just cooking meals and taking care of domestic things, right? There's so much more that we're doing as entrepreneurs. And so maybe this is not something that you can do all the time, but maybe you might consider it maybe a monthly thing, right? Where you really zero in on him and the things that he likes and present it to him in a way that he feels really special, right? I think that it's important for a man to think about coming home and thinking to himself, man, I cannot wait to get home so that I can meet my wife again, so I can see her again. And I believe that one of the ways that you can do that is if you go ahead and present his favorite meal. Number 2, brush your hair, okay? Take off that bonnet. Please do not keep it on for the entire day and make yourself look good, right? Make yourself look presentable. Now, it depends on your husband's preference, right? Some men could care less about the bonnet on their wife's head. If your husband does not care about the bonnet on the head, then that's not for you, but you know what your husband wants from you. Maybe your husband is the type of person that really likes to see lipstick on you. It's not that he wants to see, a whole full face of makeup, but maybe he likes to see a little lipstick because that just turns him on. Well, then keep the bonnet on your head and make sure you get that lipstick on prior to him coming home, right? When a man gets home, he should feel excited that he gets to see you again. So present him with the best you. And here's another thing. If you're at home for the day, and you've been hanging around, maybe talking to people, maybe not talking to people, make sure you brush your teeth because your breath is probably not the best, right? And if it's 7 p.m. in the evening and he's meeting you for the first time and you're giving each other that evening kiss, make sure that it is a good one, all right? It should be minty and not stinky. Number 3, find out what your spouse's love language is. One of the ways that you can do that is by reading the book, The 5 Love Languages, and it's written by Gary Chapman. I'll also link it down below. Now, if you've never read the book before, or if your husband has never read the book before, this might be a really good time to come together and read the book together, right? You can read a chapter a day, 2 chapters, whatever it is that you decide. But once you determine what his love language is, then you can cater to it. And what's nice is that he'll know what your love language is, and then he'll be able to cater to that as well. The one thing that I definitely know about marriage, and this is just based on my personal experience, is that when someone is constantly giving and giving and giving to you, right? You will feel propelled, to turn around and give to that person as well. The bonus thing about giving or catering to your spouse's love language is that while you are giving and giving and giving and giving, what ends up happening is that they feel compelled to give to you as well, right? Because you spoke to your husband in depth prior to marriage and you asked all those good questions and you were able to find out a lot about their qualities, right? You know that this is not a selfish person. So someone who is constantly receiving wants to give back. And so after you know his love language, he knows yours, he is going to want to give to you as well. Okay, so that's the bonus part of it. I call it a bonus because when you are giving to your spouse, you're not giving them things or you're not catering to their love language with an expectation. You're doing it because you love them and you just want to express your love for them in that way. So you give it to them, but you're not thinking that, oh, I think he's going to do something for me as well. That's when you can get caught up in a really big trap, right? When you're sitting around thinking, oh, I gave, now I will receive. I gave, now I will receive. Maybe you might give, and then you receive, right? So that is something that you just want to keep in mind when it comes down to receiving and giving and catering to the love language. Number 4, this is going to be short and sweet. Don't be a nag. Just don't. What's the definition of a nag, you say? That is a person that is consistently and constantly maybe asking for something that needs to be done around the house, but the way that you ask is in a tone and in a way that annoys the other person. You don't want to be a nag. No one wants to even do anything for you when you're a nag. Confession here. I used to be a nag. I would find myself asking over and over again, hey, are you going to take care of this? Hey, are you going to do this? Hey, are you going to get that done? And I realized that in between asking those questions, I needed to give my husband some time. I would just ask one question after the other, acting as though he was Superman, and he's not. So don't be a nag. It's not good. All right, ladies. All right. We are up to number 5. I saved the best for last. All right, here it is. Number 5 is lingerie. Yes, I said it. Make sure that if you do not already have lingerie, that you get some. Put it down on your to-do list. Put it as part of the budget. But get some lingerie, okay? Now, if you are thinking about keeping your marriage healthy, spicy, listen, you have got to have some lingerie in that closet of yours, okay? You have to make sure that you are putting it on, I would say at least once a month. Listen, if you do it even more frequent than that, go ahead, do your thing, but at least, I would say, this is just my opinion, once a month. Now, I get it. We don't know each other. But guess what? I know your man. And I know him well enough to know that he would appreciate it. Okay? He would appreciate it if you would go ahead and put on some lingerie. Now, when you put on this lingerie, make sure that you are well shaved. I know, I get it. That is a Western thought because there are men and, people around the world that are okay with the hairy legs, hairy armpits, that sort of thing. But if you know that your man is not into that, make sure that you go ahead and you shave. Smell good. You know what I mean? Like, draw him in. You know what I mean? Draw him in so that you two can go ahead and have an amazing night. And you know what I mean. All right, so thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for stopping by this video and hanging with me. I will see you in my next. Bye.